Okay, we were kind of interrupted there. We have a timer on these things. Most videos I try to keep way under 10 minutes, but sometimes we don't. So we were partway through this problem. We just need to finish it real quick. So we were talking about how this is a horizontal stretch right here, and it's multiplied by 1/3, so it's a number less than 1. And so we didn't actually show you why though. So we're going to rotate this some direction or another. And here's how we find out when. We take the original input and then the new output. So if x were -3, y, or the f of 1/3 x, would be a -2. There's your first dot. So this is, remember, it has to stay on the y-axis. So it would rotate like this. Actually, since I'm using spaghetti, we can see the whole answer because we don't need to keep going. But if I use 0 for the x, the new y would be a -1. And if I used a 3 for x, the new y would be 0. So 3 for x, the new y would be 0, exposing that my graph isn't perfectly straight. So we can see how it kind of shifted in this case, and with the fraction. Okay, very good. So that was a horizontal stretch because it was stretching towards the horizontal line instead of shrinking away from it. Okay, let's try another one. That was a horizontal stretch, but what if instead of the input being influenced, we try to influence the output, the y, if you will, the 3 times f of x. Well, this is kind of the easiest of all, because if x is 0, what's y in this case? Just looking at the line. If x is 0, y is a -1. If x is a 1, I just chose these. I chose because I wanted to count by multiple 3's because I was dividing by 3's. These I'm choosing these numbers at the top here just because I can choose any numbers to make it easy. So I'll just choose a 0, 1, 2. If x is a 1, y is 0. If x is a 2, y is 1. Cool. Now all I have to do is multiply all those by 3 since the input's not being influenced. It's just the output. So 3 times -1 is a -3. 3 times 0 is 0, and 3 times 1 is 3. So now we just need to go ahead and mark our new spots here. So if x is 0, y is -3. If x is 0, y is a -3. Go ahead and if x is 1, y is 0. If x is 1, y is 0. If x is 2, y is 3. So remember, the rotation is going to be along the x-axis. Here's the pivot point, and it's going to be shifting or transforming in this way. This is our new line. So you can kind of visualize it in this case. In this case, it was a vertical stretch of the graph. You can see that it's stretching towards the y-axis. In other words, it's starting here, but it's getting closer to this line. It's not shrinking away, it's getting closer to that y-axis. Cool. Stretching towards it, not shrinking away. Great. Okay. Well, this is the finish or conclusion of last lesson. One other note, since I have the time to say it, is these boxes are really the way to go. If you're going to, if you make these boxes, you almost don't have to graph it. You can still just get the answer using these boxes. And then another way, instead of getting spaghetti out and seeing if it's stretching or shrinking, you could just see if it's being multiplied by a fraction or a whole number and memorize it that way. Just some food for thought on that. All right, good luck.